Testing. Oh, agak kuat. Ni kalau spotter saya rasa saya kena bangun lah. Takut nanti.
But it's a live program.
Oh, it's live program. Ayo. Hello guys, how are you doing? Saya kalau boleh nak bangun, tapi kerana dia sesi Facebook Live, I was asked to sit down. Kecuali kalau my good friend here can maybe make it. Oh, it's alright, huh? Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so Ginger, if you can maybe just briefly explain what this session is about. Dan sekarang kita di mana, itu paling penting sekali. Kerana tempat ni saya dengar agak popular di kalangan orang muda di Likas.
Okay, salam sejahtera. Hi Facebook friends. Hello Malaysia, hello Sabah. Apa khabar semua? You can reply, khabar baik. How are you? Have you done your dinner yet? My name is Ginger. I'm as my good friend Saudara Syed Saddiq has said, I'm the former Menteri Belia dan Sukan Sabah. He's my counterpart, also former Menteri Belia dan Sukan. So together we are here at Likas. So allow me to introduce. This is our calon warisan kelas, Saudara Tan Ifat, who will be representing warisan kelas in this election, and we have to win all the seats. We have to make sure that Sabah can win so that we can make Malaysia a better tomorrow. So yeah, we are here today. It's a program Santai-Santai where it's a Facebook online session. Today we are going to take questions from online, from Facebook, and also we understand that Syed Saddiq, I would like to say congratulations to Saudara, because two good things. One, congratulations on your new party, Parti Muda. And second thing is that congratulations because you are enrolled to Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policies, NUS. Yeah, congratulations. So today we are, in 5 days time, we are going to have a very important Sabah election. To make sure that we are going to move forward under the leadership of Dr. Shafi, or we are going backward. So it's very important to secure victory in this election. So that's the reason why we are here, and we want to meet some of the online Facebook friends. At the same time, we have some supporters here, yeah, from Likas. So later, I'm sure the food and refreshment will be served. So it's basically a simple santai-santai program, and to know about our calon Likas, and more importantly because this is his constituency. So without further ado, I would like to invite Saudara Syed Saddiq to give a short and brief sharing, and then I'm going to invite Saudara Tan to give a short and brief sharing. Then we'll go for Q&A sessions. Is that good? Thank you. Stay tuned and share. Remember to like and share on your FB, and invite your friends to come in here and to meet our youngest ever Minister of Youth and Sport Malaysia. Thank you very much, and I pass the floor to Saudara Syed Saddiq.
Thank you very much, YB Ginger. Firstly, it's good to be back. Minggu lepas saya sempat datang, tapi sekejap saja. Saya datang lagi sekali, tetapi kali ini akan berkampung di Sabah sampai tarikh pengundian pada Sabtu yang akan datang. Dan saya betul-betul berharap bila hari mengundi tiba, orang Sabah akan menghantar satu mesej yang begitu jelas, bahawa orang Sabah orang yang bermaruah, berintegriti, menolak politik wang, menerima politik yang berprinsip, tolak politik katak lompat-melompat, dan akan terus mengangkat dan memartabatkan kepentingan negeri Sabah. This is to me one of the most historic elections. Saya kata kerana ini merupakan salah satu pilihan raya yang paling bersejarah, kerana orang Sabah diberikan pilihan di antara Datuk Seri Shafi Abdal sebagai calon Ketua Menteri, calon ketua menteri yang mengangkat dasar perpaduan yang ingin membina lebih banyak jambatan di antara bangsa, agama, suku kaum, ataupun politik yang memecah belahkan rakyatnya, politik agama ekstremisme atau politik bangsa ekstremisme sampai ke satu tahap di mana kita tidak boleh bersama. And at the same time, I like to remind, why are we where we are at today? Kenapa sampai terpaksa adanya pilihan raya negeri? Kita ada pilihan raya negeri kerana 13 adun yang dipilih oleh orang Sabah pada pilihan raya lepas melompat. They forgot the people's mandate. They betrayed the people's trust. They jumped and caused the collapse of a legitimate state government. Dan pada masa tersebut, kerana politik lompat-melompat ini, sistem demokrasi negara semakin lemah. And in reality, we must send a clear signal that those who betray the people's mandate will be punished and they will never be accepted again. Sebab itu saya berharap pada pilihan raya negeri ini, apabila orang Sabah menghantar mesej yang jelas, signal yang jelas bahawa politik katak ini akan ditolak dan akan dihukum, yang bermakna selepas ini kalau ada mana-mana pihak yang ingin menggadaikan maruah prinsipnya untuk wang, kuasa dan jawatan, mereka akan dihukum sejelas mungkin. The power is in your hands, and this is truly the time for us to show, not just in Sabah, but to all Malaysians, regardless of race and religion, that we are better and more united together. That while we may not share the same religion, that we may not have the same skin color, but in the end, we have more commonalities than what divide and differentiates us. That we are all Malaysians, that we care for the same issues. We want for quality jobs, we want for quality education, we want for there to be affordable housing. We reject money politics. We want leaders with integrity and leaders who seek to unite us and not divide us. Inilah politik yang kita mahu di Malaysia. Salah satu perkara yang saya tekankan juga dan kongsikan juga, ni saya rasa rakan-rakan media pun ada di hadapan saya. Semalam saya sampai di Sabah. Saya tak sempat nak berkempen, tapi saya sempat tengok Facebook Live ucapan Datuk Seri Azmin Ali, Menteri Kanan Kerajaan Perikatan Nasional. And one of the speech which truly pissed me off. Saya nak, kalau boleh, rakan-rakan tengok ucapan dia semalam. What did he say? Dalam ucapannya, dia kata bahawa Datuk Seri Shafie Apdal adalah munafik. For Muslims, you know what munafik is. Munafik ni seperti hipokrit. It's a very bad and negative term. Bukan sahaja munafik, dia kata dekat penduduk kampung setempat tersebut, kalau nampak Datuk Seri Shafie Apdal, kejar dia keluar kampung. I mean, he's seriously saying, someone from Semenanjung is saying that people of Sabah, when you see Datuk Seri Shafie Apdal, you should chase him out of your village. Kenapa? Dia katakan perkara itu kerana dia kata munafik kerana bila Datuk Seri Shafie Apdal Ketua Menteri dan Datuk Seri Azmin Ali adalah Menteri Ekonomi, Datuk Seri Shafie Apdal berani untuk menulis surat untuk meminta dan memohon peruntukan pembangunan bagi rakyat Sabah. Dan dia kata kerana Datuk Seri Shafie Apdal meminta dan memohon peruntukan pembangunan, dia merupakan seorang pemimpin yang munafik. What ridiculousness is this? That is a disgusting form of politics. That just because a legitimate elected state leader, a chief minister, decides to ask for federal allocations, suddenly you choose to humiliate him. Is this the kind of politics which we want? When I saw that, I was enraged because he is treating government allocations, federal allocations, like his own personal wealth. Obviously, if you are chief minister, you will write to federal government to ask for federal allocations. Why? Because federal government tax from the people of Sabah. Federal government takes money from the people of Sabah. Now suddenly when state government of Sabah request for financial aid and assistance, suddenly he's a munafik. Politik apa ni? Adakah kita yang mengharapkan orang Sabah terpaksa mengemis kepada kerajaan persekutuan untuk dapatkan balik wang hak milik orang Sabah? I'm from Johor, but even though I'm from Johor, I feel insulted when I see this kind of politics. Padahal saya ingat dahulu bila saya merupakan salah seorang menteri kerajaan persekutuan, walaupun kerajaan negeri Kelantan dan Terengganu tidak, kerajaan negeri tersebut daripada segi parti politik tidak sehaluan dengan kerajaan persekutuan, but in no way should and will we discriminate a state government who may come from a different political identity. Sebab itu wang ihsan kerajaan yang kita berikan dekat kerajaan negeri Terengganu, more than R1 billion, 400 million to Kelantan and even to Terengganu state government, walaupun mereka tidak merupakan kerajaan yang sama. Why is this? Kerana dalam politik kita perlu matang. We must be mature. We should not build walls to divide ourselves. We should not force a democratically elected state government to beg for allocations which belong to the people of that state. Sebab itu saya berharap orang Sabah akan menolak politik ugut-mengugut seperti ini. This is your wealth. This is your money. But yet, a federal minister can come here and say that a chief minister elected by all of you is a munafik and a hypocrite. Ridicule him just because he's asking for development funds for the people of Sabah. This kind of politics is disgusting. We must reject it. And I hope that the people of Sabah will send a clear signal during election day on Saturday. Bagi orang muda, inilah masa kamu untuk membetulkan persepsi politik di Malaysia, bahawa sebagai pengundi, kamulah yang berkuasa, bukan pemimpin politik. And I say this including to myself. Sebab itu saya sentiasa akur dan perlu bermuhasabah. As an elected representative, I do not hold power. Power lies in the people. If the people think that I'm not doing my job, then they have the right to change me when election comes. Tetapi kalau seseorang pemimpin itu selepas diberikan mandat, selepas itu kerana jawatan, kerana duit yang datang berjuta-juta ringgit, sanggup menggadaikan maruah dan prinsip kerana kepentingan pribadi, we must send a clear signal to reject him. It's not enough for only you to come out during election. Everyone has a role to play in shaping the future of Malaysia. Kalau ada rakan-rakan dan keluarga di Semenanjung yang akan mengundi di Sabah, pastikan mereka pulang mengundi. Kalau ada atuk, nenek, ibu bapa yang bersama, pastikan mereka keluar mengundi sekali. Be that agent of change. Be the change which you want to see. Change is in your hands, and I hope that you will be together on Saturday next week to send a clear signal that we don't want the politics of race and religion to divide us, that we don't want the politics of threats to divide us and to weaken us, but we want a politics of integrity, principled politics, the politics of unity in which we all come together to show that Malaysia's strength is in her diversity, and unity and diversity should never be treated as a liability in Malaysia. Sebab itu, saya pandang di sini pula ya, kepada rakan-rakan media sosial yang sedang tengok di sini, saya berharap kita bersama untuk menghantar satu mesej yang jelas pada hari Sabtu ini. Kuasa terletak di tangan kamu semua, dan saya berharap bahawa kamu akan membuat pilihan yang baik dan tepat untuk mengangkat dan memartabatkan politik prinsip, politik bermaruah, politik berintegriti, politik perpaduan, dan menolak politik katak lompat-melompat, tolak politik wang, politik ugut-mengugut, kerana saya yakin orang Sabah adalah orang yang berdaulat, bermaruah, berintegriti, dan akan menghantar satu signal yang jelas demi masa depan negeri Sabah dan Malaysia secara keseluruhan. Terima kasih. That's it from me. So let's pass the mic to someone else. To my friends who decided to came down I feel really bad sebab ni sesi Facebook Live, but you guys are here as well. Thank you very much for making the time down. I hope together we will be able to chart a more united path forward for Sabah and for all Malaysians. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to engage you all of you.
Okay, terima kasih atas kehadiran rekan-rekan saya di sini. Kepada Sedik, kepada Bung Ginger, memang saya rasa gembira kerana mereka ni orang muda. Saya pun sebab saya tahu orang ni muda dan handsome, saya tetap buat. Dan ini menunjukkan bahawa beliau seorang yang amat yakin dan percaya kepada kuasa rakyat. Dan untuk pengetahuan juga, ada pihak-pihak tertentu menawarkan sejumlah wang RM 20 juta dan juga pangkat timbalan ketua menteri kepada saya. Tetapi saya tolak. Saya tolak. Sebab saya tidak mau mengkhianati pengundi, bukan saja pengundi likas, tetapi juga seluruh kepercayaan dan keyakinan rakyat Sabah kepada kerajaan pada masa itu. Dan ini jelas, dan saya rasa perlu saya tegaskan di sini, kita mau wakil rakyat yang ada integriti, yang tidak akan membelot atau mengkhianati kepercayaan dan keyakinan kepada kita, kepada pemimpin. Jadi PRN ini sangat penting sebab kita mau, saya harap rakyat Sabah paham dan tunjukkan kepada bukan saja rakyat Sabah tetapi seluruh rakyat Malaysia bahawa kita tidak mau politik wang, kita menolak politik wang, kita tidak mau kerajaan pintu belakang. Nah, ini jelas, ini sangat jelas. Jadi kita perlu tahu, kita mesti menolak ini kerajaan pintu belakang. Untuk itu, untuk memberi gambaran yang jelas, untuk menghukum kata-kata ini, mereka yang pentingkan atau percaya bahawa politik wang akan menguasai segala-galanya, kita tunjukkan kepada mereka yang wang bukan segala-galanya, pangkat bukan segala-galanya. Itu penting. 26 September ini saya harap semua rakyat Sabah turun mengundi dan kita mau menang majoriti yang besar supaya memberi satu message yang sangat jelas. Kita tidak mau kerajaan pintu belakang. Kita mau mereka tahu bahwa kuasa rakyat lebih besar dari segala-galanya, lebih besar daripada duit, wang dan pangkat. Jadi message-nya sangat jelas. Kita mau pemimpin yang jujur, pemimpin yang boleh dipercayai. Kita mau satu kerajaan yang bersih, satu kerajaan yang dipilih oleh rakyat. Oleh itu berilah kepercayaan sekali lagi, kepada kerajaan warisan plus. Itu saja yang saya minta dari rekan-rekan, dari saudara, dari tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang ada, yang sedang menonton sekarang ini. Jadi 3.000 lebih menonton. Terima kasih kerana menonton dan bersama kita dalam sesi santai hari ini. saya betul-betul gembira kerana dua-dua mantan menteri menyokong dan datang memberi sokongan dan galakan kepada saya. Terima kasih. Saya benar-benar menghargai apa yang mereka lakukan. Jadi saya pun itu saja yang saya ingin sampaikan di sini. Terima kasih kepada sekali lagi kepada pengundi Likas, dan saya harap pada 26 hari bulan September terus sokong saya kandidat calon nomor 5 dari Parti Warisan.
Okay, terima kasih kepada penonton yang sedang on FB Live. Now, basically, it's a Sunday program. Before that, I would like to introduce, we have another guest, YB Vivian Wong. So now we have 3 youngest here. We have the youngest minister ever, Menteri Belia dan Sukan mantan Malaysia.
Saya pun muda, Pak.
Ada the 3 youngest who endorsed your campaign, you see.
Sedih.
Yeah. So we have the youngest RP Parliament in Sabah, and also I'm the currently youngest assemblyman in Sabah. So 3 of us are here in Likas and to endorse the campaign and ask all the Likas voters to vote for Warisan Plus and vote for Tan. Alright, so before we go for Santai and tech Q&A, I would like to invite Saudari Vivian Wong to say a few words. Thank you.
Hi, hello, good evening everybody. This is my first time doing such a Santai because in Sanaka we usually have quite formal ceramah, we stand up, we give our speech. Yeah, so thank you very much for having me here tonight. I think this is my first program with Bani Syed. I'm so happy.
It's a pleasure.
All my friends in my constituency are very jealous. So I will definitely share this to them. So
Make sure they turn up to vote. Make sure they turn up to vote. That's important.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I've been telling all my friends, the biggest problem that we are facing now is actually not having enough voters to come back to our constituency to vote. That's the thing that we are very worried about. As guys know, like Sanaka to KL is like 3 hours away, so a lot of my youth, they're working in Semenanjung, and sometimes when I ask them, even until now, some of them, when I ask them, ada kan kau akan balik lagi, ada belum tahu lagi lah, itu tiket macam sangat mahal, and then some of them also, they're actually quite, macam apa to say, like very, like beaten up lah in a way. They say, the last election I came back already, and then I passed my vote, but how come the government can just suddenly change like that? The vote's very powerless. So, but I understand all the feelings that they are facing, but I still need to tell them this is like this election is really important, not just for Sabah, but just for the whole Malaysia. We need to make sure that we win, and we need to make sure that we win big, so that only the federal government will be able to get the signal. Wow, the voters, the people are standing up again. Sabah, anak Sabah mula bangkit lagi, and then the whole Malaysia, anak Malaysia akan bangkit juga. So I'm here to actually sokong my comrade, Kapit Tanifat. That's why we are in his constituency now.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, so I've known YD Tanifat for few years yes, with my father's batch at that time. So very nice man, very humble. Sometimes quiet, so I like to kacau him. So he's quiet guy, yeah. So but I can see that he's very sincere, as when he's serving his constituency, especially when he talks to his people. So I believe that he will do a very good job. If the full term is given, because as you know, only 2 years plus 26 months. So a lot of things that we wanted to do, we are able to accomplish. Even from my side as well, the government, a lot of things we have planned for my youth in Sanaka. First time we are having a younger MP that we want to bring whole new mechanism, new dynamic to our city, our state. But we are able to do so because of all the unethical politicians around. So, but what has happened. So it's now time for us to punish them. When we say punish them, so the punishment day will be on the 26th of September, where we cast our rules. We want to make sure that all these corrupted politicians, we as the younger generation, we are really so tired when we hear of them. Without integrity, they are not putting the people's mandate first. They are always constantly thinking about themselves and their own benefit. So, on 26th of September, I hope that everybody, especially the ones that is in Sabah, must come out and vote, and then the ones that hasn't purchased their air tickets back or their bus tickets back to their constituency, make sure you do so, because we don't have another 5 years to lose. We're 5 tahun lagi. So we want to make sure that this round we want to win, and then we want to chop down all the foxes in Sabah. Okay, I think that's the message that I wanted to send, and I'm going to fight for my back home.
Yeah, alright. Thank you for our three speakers. That's right. This 26th of September is very, very important indeed, not only for Sabah but for all Malaysians, because certainly the result and outcome of the Sabah election will have impact on the Malaysian politics for sure. So definitely we need, of course, we need a politics of principle. That like what Saudara Sim Sadid has said. So definitely we want to bring a hope to Sabah and Malaysia that there's no room for politics of hatred, there's no room for politics of divisive, there's no room for politics of money, politics of katak. So all these kind of things should be eliminated from Sabah. So this is very important battle. And I urge all the Sabahan to come together. We are stronger together to reject money politics, to reject katak politics, to reject all politics and reject hate politics. So four politics should be rejected in this election, and together we install the politics of integrity, we install the politics of principle, we install the politics of ideals. So this is so important. So with that, now we go to the Q&A session, and at the same time we can sometimes we still have 15 minutes to end the session. So any one of you want to ask a question, please comment and put your comment on Syed Saddiq's official page, and also Pong Jinze official Facebook page, and also Tan Li Fat official page. Okay? So do you want to say something about the satay, and what do you think about the food?
I think the food is amazing. I love satay. The reason being why I love satay, I know I'm in Sabah, but for those of you yang sekarang cuti Malaysia kan, cuti Malaysia usually everyone from Semenanjung come to Sabah now, but now this is my 1 minute pitch moment for people to come to Muar, my constituency in Johor, because every morning in Muar we have satay pagi. So people usually eat satay and heavy food, for lunch or maybe dinner. But in my kawasan in Muar, we have like satay in the morning. But while we have satay in the morning, we are very fit community lah. Then we exercise a lot as well. So if you want to try great satay, you can also come down to Muar. I have to take the opportunity to promote Muar, to do my job. Oh yeah, lontong as well. Not bad, not bad. Oh no, see? I know you. Wherever I go, there will always be Muarians one. Okay, amazing. Make
So
sure that,
you are the icon of Muar.
so make sure you bring all your Sabah friends, come down to Muar. Yeah, power. Make sure you bring all your Sabah friends, come down to Muar. So yeah, the food here is amazing. I just want to add like what Ginger pointed out. The interesting part, right, is that I think in Warisan and PH, there are so many young leaders.
Yeah.
So it's not just like one or two of young representatives. Ada banyak ahli parlimen muda, ada banyak ahli Dewan Undangan Negeri muda yang diberikan peluang. Dan perkara ini harus kita angkat kerana kalau lihat di parlimen ni bukan sahaja tempat yang harus didominasi oleh golongan yang sudah berumur.
it should also be a place where we contest ideas and young people also have a role to play.
Yeah.
Saya agak kecewa bila baru-baru ni dimaklumkan bahawa I think, what was the number? I think about like 60% of parliamentarians are above 60 years old. And the number of parliamentarians below 40 is unbelievably low. Nak kata anak muda ni tak ada yang baik, berwawasan tu tak betul. There are many of those young leaders who are capable, cutting across political beliefs, race, religion, but there are those who are genuinely good, and it's time for us to give them an opportunity. So kepada rakan-rakan di Sabah, I think there are so many young candidates being put forward. This is an opportunity for us to give them a chance. And also all three young candidates here are giving our endorsement to also the young candidate at heart. I think saya kata kerana,
You know what? Sorry, I interrupt a bit. He plays Dota.
plays Dota, can play with me, but I think I'm going to win against you lah. And back then,
We should play one session, 2 versus 2.
Can, no problem. But I just say, see, young at heart. Remember, the word muda, it's not just about age. It's also about politics and principles. So tak guna kalau kita orang muda tapi menggadaikan maruah kerana politik wang dan kuasa. That's all politics. But for someone like him, if you listen to his speech just now, and I know during that crucial moment, there will be a lot of people who go to see and approach him, you know, trying to buy his vote to cause the collapse of the state government and to install Musa Aman as the chief minister. But he didn't budge. Duit dia tak makan, jawatan dan pangkat pun dia tak makan. And it's this kind of politician which we need to support, right? Because in the end, as elected representatives, there should be a higher goal than just money and positions. In the end, we are merely servants of the people and we are merely vehicles to the people's aspirations. Dan apabila kita sebagai kenderaan tidak melakukan kerja dengan baik, kenderaan itu dah lama akan ditukar. So we're here to serve you and you only, not for money, power and positions. So yeah, I hope that we will send a clear message during this election. Back to you, my vision.
Yeah. So anyone want to ask any questions, or any questions on YB Shazadi's speech, or any questions? We can take questions, and meanwhile we can enjoy a little bit on the satay, and also drink the coconut water. Yeah. So any questions?
You can ask our media friends.
Yeah, media friends.
So YB, you are saying that there are already 10,000 persons that have registered to your new party, right? So how many of them are from Sabah?
Yeah, you repeat the question.
The question asked, I don't think this has a role in like Sabah elections, but since our media friend asked, I'm obligated to answer. Bear with me. So the question asked is, in 48 hours, there were more than 10,000 people who registered for the new party which I established called MUDA, Malaysian United Democratic Alliance. So how many from Sabah? I haven't looked at the breakdown of how many at Sabah, but I just want to share an interesting fact which just happened recently. So in 48 hours, there were more than 10,000 registered. But more interestingly, this morning, there were news reports where Nazri Aziz, the Member of Parliament of Padang Rengas, said that, I'm being very naive, the young youth will fail, and the young people forming a political party will most likely fail. And I shared that with my friends and the public at large. And interestingly, because of Nazri Aziz's statement, in less than 12 hours, just before I came here, more than 6,000 people, new members have come in to register. Which is very interesting to show that the more all these ridicule young people, the more they take this as a challenge to prove that young people can do the impossible. So I take up the challenge by YB Nazri Aziz. I remember even before I was elected as a Member of Parliament, I think in 2017, when I spoke up against corruption and abuse of power, he called me budak mentah bodoh. I mean, he can say whatever he wants, and said that it's impossible for me to win a parliamentary seat, but because of God's grace, Alhamdulillah, won my seat in Muar, now I'll prove him wrong again. That young people can do the impossible, and the more you challenge us, the more you threaten us, the more we'll fight back to prove that the voices of young people can never ever be suppressed. So, thank you very much, Datuk Sri Nazri Aziz, for helping bring another 6,000 members for my party. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Wow, that's amazing. Right. Any questions on our pitch? Yeah.
Someone's asking, how do you guys actually answer to misleading and slandering comments from the opponent?
Persoalan yang diajukan oleh rakan di media sosial, bagaimana kita ingin membantras politik fitnah memfitnah, tipu menipu, or fake news. I mean, different people have different ways, but we must these lies immediately. We must confront it with facts and figures, so that in the end, these lies will not be able to spread far. I show one clear example. Just recently, I read news that Bung Mohtar, the calon ketua menteri oleh pihak sebelah sana, actually God knows which one the ketua menteri. Ada Bung Mohtar, ada Haji G, ada Jeffrey Ketingan, ada God knows there are so many, so they don't have a united candidate. But either way say that, oh, slogan yang Datuk Sri Shafi gunakan, in God we trust, unite we must, is from the Philippines. I don't know what this guy is smoking, man. I mean, what ridiculousness! Even when I was a kid, you know, I heard this "In God We Trust" slogan for a while from my friends, and this is supposed to be a slogan to unite all of us. Why suddenly when I add on the Filipina element there? Not just that. Pagi ni, I think we heard again people challenging Datuk Sri Shafi's ancestry. Kata dia bukan orang Malaysia, atau the ancestors not from Malaysia. I mean, do you really want to go down this gutter politics? And the odd part is, the same people who accused Datuk Sri Shafi was in the same party before, which is UMNO. Anifah Ahmad, Musa Ahmad. Heck, Datuk Sri Shafi was the vice president of UMNO before, the same party which they were in. And now suddenly, when he has led Sabah State and govern successfully with principles and integrity to unite Sabahans of different race and religion, suddenly now saying that he's actually not a true Sabahan. I mean, how demeaning is that? When you have a chief minister who seeks to unite Sabahans, the opponent throws slander by saying that he's actually not a Sabahan. I mean, seriously. So I think if we don't reject this kind of politics, I don't know what type of politics we aspire in Malaysia. So, social media users, orang-orang macam ni kita kena tolak, dan kita raikan budaya politik yang matang, politik yang baik, yang berprinsip, bermaruah, dan kita tidak akan terima mereka ini yang sanggup mempertikaikan kewarganegaraan seseorang itu.
Yeah. Very well said. I'm also the victim. I still remember 3 weeks ago, I was the victim of a fake account on the Facebook saying that he has the sex tape of mine. So that's very ridiculous, and that's totally unacceptable. If I have one, I can send to you. But there's no such thing, and it's totally unacceptable, and it's so ridiculous. But I'm also the victim, and I'm sure all the young politicians are the victims nowadays. Victims of fake news, victims of character assassination, victims of the personal attack, instead of debating based on ideas, based on policies. And we really need to install a new politics where the politics should be based on ideas, it should be based on idealism, and also based on the policies. We should debate on policies. We should debate on how to improve the livelihood of the people. We should debate on how to solve the unemployment in Malaysia. We should debate on how to help the SME better. Not debate on personal life of a politician. Not debate on, mempertikaikan soal isu kehidupan biasa. seorang ahli politik. So those days are gone. And nowadays the people are more aware and more intelligent. They want to analyze based on what the ideals, what's the idealism represents on the politician. So they cast their votes. So I think it's so important. It's high time, and through this election, we must reject all these hate politics. We must reject all these personal attack politics. And high time for us to embrace new politics, and all the young politicians here are here to tell all Sabahans and Malaysians we are determined to make Malaysia better by having new politics. Yeah. So we have one or two more questions, then we end the session. Yeah, please.
Can you share some of your experience during the campaign? What's the challenges that you're facing during approaching to the voters in Sabah compared to Semenanjung?
The question asked is, what are the challenges which I face when I campaign in Sabah in comparison to campaigns in Semenanjung? But before I talk about the challenges, I just want to share what are the positive things about campaigning in Sabah which I appreciate a lot, and which I believe it's timely for us to export Sabah politics to Semenanjung, not the other way around, not Semenanjung politics to Sabah. Which is when I think I've travelled to like so many parliamentary seats in Sabah. Even when I was in the Ministry of Youth and Sports, I'll come down to Sabah almost every single month. And that I remember, even though I'm from Johor, a lot of my Johor counterparts will say, "Hey, why you go down to Sabah all the time? Come down, you're spending more time in Sabah than Johor." The reason why is because the unique part about Sabah is that despite the fact that you may come from a different race, religion, suku kaum, but you still have that common identity. You're very proud to be Sabahan, and that identity unites all of you. And you don't fall into the trappings of the politics of extremism, race and religion, and politicians who seek to divide people based on race and religion. And I appreciate that a lot. That's why when I touched down to Sabah recently, when I came out from the airport, drive down and you'll see this big advertisement, right, put up. There's a face of Datuk Seri Shafie Apdal, the Chief Minister, with a quote that he's here to build a nation, not just a race and a religion, not particular race and not particular religion. And that's a very powerful message. And that is truly the kind of politics which you want to bring, not just in Sabah but across Malaysia. So I appreciate that a lot, and that's why I enjoy coming down to Sabah. And despite being a Johorian and someone from Semenanjung, but I believe this is something which all Malaysians can pick up, and a political identity which we all should associate ourselves to. Some of the difficulties, I think now in particular, is to really get young people to turn up to vote. Because young people are so anchored by the fact that when they turn up in throws in last election, diorang turun sanggup yang luar negara balik hanya untuk mengundi, beli flight tiket mahal-mahal hanya untuk mengundi. Tetapi selepas mengundi, ahli politik sanggup menjual maruah mereka hanya kerana dapat duit ataupun tawaran jutaan ringgit ataupun tawaran pangkat menteri di negeri Sabah, seperti tadi apa kita dengar. Dan apabila mereka menjual maruah diri sebagai rakyat dan pengundi, manalah tak marah. So there is a fear that the same thing will happen after the state election. But I think the best way for us to deal with this problem is to confront it. Jangan lari. Kalau betul kita marah, kita marah dan kita rasa penat lelah, penat-penat kita mengundi, tiba-tiba ahli Dewan Undangan Negeri ada untuk boleh lompat membelakangkan mandat rakyat, we should come out to vote to punish him or her, to send a clear signal that we will punish you if you do this again. Sebab itu pada pilihan raya ni tak cukup kalau Warisan Plus menang dengan majoriti kecil. They must win with a big and decisive majority, so that politik katak melompat ini tidak akan berlaku dan berulang dan signal jelas telah pun disampaikan oleh orang Sabah. Your hands, what you want for Sabah will be reflective of Malaysian politics overall. I think this is a very interesting and exciting election because I believe this is an election in which Sabah can lead, Sabah memimpin politik di Malaysia, dan saya berharap bahawa orang Sabah menghantar signal yang jelas pada pilihan raya ini. Terima kasih. Thank you very much everyone.
Okay, before we end, since we have no questions received, and I would like to invite the calon likas to give the ending speech. Yeah.
Terima kasih. Seperti yang telah dijelaskan oleh YB Siddiq tadi, berikan message yang jelas. Kita mesti berani kerana benar. Tunjukkan message yang jelas. Kita tidak mau politik wang. Kita tidak mau politik wang berterusan sehingga ke anak cucu kita. Kita akan hukum mereka yang hanya pentingkan wang, hanya pentingkan pangkat dan bukan demi kepentingan rakyat. Ya, itu jelas. Itu jelas. Kita mau bukan saja pengundi likas dari berbilang kaum, tetapi juga dari yang muda sehinggalah yang tua turun mengundi. Itu tanggung jawab kita. Kita mau menang besar, kita mau majoriti yang besar sebagai satu tanda, satu signal, satu message yang sangat jelas, bukan saja Sabah tetapi juga kepada perikatan nasional yang rakyat tidak mau kerajaan pintu belakang. Itu jelas. Jadi jangan lupa turun 26 hari bulan September. Kita sokong kerajaan, kita sokong calon warisan plus. Sekian, terima kasih.
Nombor 5.
Nombor 5. Calon nombor 5.
Calon, jangan lupa calon nomor 5.
Ya.
Thank you. 19 kali lipat. Terima kasih. Terima kasih.
So for your information on the FB Live, you can stay online because our veteran of the AP leader, Saudara Lim Kisang, is coming. So you can stay tuned and stay online, and while we are waiting for Saudara Lim Kisang, 我们的林基祥同志也会等一下会到现场，所以可以给大家可以稍等一下，可以跟大家一起聊聊天，好。
Where's the cover for this?
Pick it up there, just not
This is a really catchy song. Yeah. Let me just finish everyone and then I'll bring up. Yeah, sure.
Let us welcome our Democratic Action Party veteran Saudara Lim Kisang.
So once again, I would like to remind, especially for the Facebook front, that this is a live session, and thank you for all the supporters who are staying here. continue live, and now we have people online and watching online. So without further ado, because we have already done all the speeches, and I would like to invite our Taiko, our Lauda, Saudara Lim Kian Siang for his speech. Dipersilakan.
Thank you, Ginger. This spot, I'm quite out of place here because young people and are able to catch up with the latest developments of internet developments and all that. So I think I'm the oldest. I think I'm older than you. How are you?
71.
Oh, a very young man. 71 only. I'm close to 80 already. Anybody 80 or more than 80? So established, I'm the oldest. And I congratulate Sadiq, firstly for believing that it is time to unite all Malaysians and not confined to one particular group. And it's time to form a party of young Malaysians. But I think youth is a state of mind. The young people are very old, and the old people are very young. Correct? In any event, I don't think it is practical to form a party of young based on the chronological age, because you're going to come to that age. We must unite all Malaysians, regardless of age. The young people, the middle age, and the senior citizens. We must unite all Malaysians for a better Malaysia, a better Sabah, where there is integrity, where there is a good governance, where there is everybody can look forward to freedom, justice, and fair play. I think that's what we want, and I hope that this election, Sabah is known as them before the win. You're always at the receiving end. But this September 26 is an opportunity for Sabah to initiate a wind of change which can affect also Malaysia. Because the Sabah election is more than a state election. That's why our Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin is spending so much time in Sabah. He's campaigning for his political life. Because we do not know how long he's going to be Prime Minister. And only today we read about Sabah, where the poverty rate is highest in the country, 19.5%. When the whole country is 5%. We know that Sabah is one of the richest states in Malaysia. If Sabah is one of the richest states in Malaysia, it should be below the average. It should be below 5%. Instead, it is 19.5%, the highest in the country. Why? Because of corruption, because of abuse of power, because of concentration of power and concentration of resources among a group of people only. And that's why on September the 26th, a new Sabah must begin. Mantap Sabah baru. Betul? Mantap Sabah baru. And of course, I see the slogan, in God we trust, unite we must. And that's what we must do. Our message, Wisdom Plus message must be one of unity, of inclusiveness, unlike the message from the other side, which belongs to the 3 Ds of disunity, division, and discord. You cannot build Sabah, you cannot build Malaysia on that basis. There must be unity, there must be inclusivity, and as the Sabah Chief Minister has said, as Shafi Abdul have said, we are about building a nation, not about any particular race, not about any particular reason. Thank you very much.
Very powerful speech by Saudara Lim Kisiam.